Just because like it's just gonna be like the whole purpose of Crimson that makes it so good is you can out combo a lot of stuff, but how are you gonna out combo? What is it? 7 cards?
7 cards plus 5k base from the Z leader plus double strike. So
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
a big
what
boy.
are we talking? Are we talking about the Majin Buu stuff?
No,
No,
the
not
Spirit
now.
Yellow
Bomb.
stuff.
The good yellow stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Well, when do you want to go live? Let's go live now.
I just hit record just in case because there's a lot of good stuff there. So welcome everybody to Team Talk. What is this? 13, 12, 11, 5? I don't know. It's one of those numbers.
62.
62. That's what we'll work on. But we're here today to talk about finally those yellow reveals, which is looking good for next week. We might be able to, do back to back because they're starting to do more than 2 reveals a day. And blue is looking promising. I like what they're going, getting Bayteen and Krill Dog in there. But yeah, we're going to be talking about the cards we like in yellow, both art-wise and effect-wise. And I think I'll just start off plain and simple. I'm going to go with the card I like the effect on being the SS Son Goku Majin Showdown. So that is the Z leader. Basically, this guy is Z Awaken for 4 energy. You're not doing that. He comes out from the prior Z leader, but I won't touch on that too much in case someone else wants to take it on. But he has a permanent while there are 7 or more cards in your combo area, and this card's in battle. Negate the skill of all cards in your opponent's combo area. So that's one thing. We've had other cards in yellow do similar things, but auto, when this card attacks, draw 1 card. Pretty simple with the leader. Activate battle. This is where we start to get our kill of the deck. Is if there are 7 or more cards in your combo area and this card is in battle, for the duration of battle, it gets double strike, and at the end of battle, remove this card from the game. So this is your finisher. You're already going to have 7 cards in your combo area. So you're swinging a big boy, and he's going to be double strike. I really like it. I know the leader in general, we were talking a little bit before this. We'll probably go in more if someone wants to take up the leader. But I think it's a cool finisher. It also has really cool art to it too, and kind of nice that it's a little gimmick with the Spirit Bomb. But well, I don't know how much balance-wise it's going to be. Anyone off of that card? Any other input?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of it. Like it just seems, free. Like all the effects, they just happen. Like Spirit Bomb, all you're doing is resting. All the cards, just place a card underneath, and then you're just getting value. Like the Vegeta, like it's got a Vegeta 1-drop with basically he's just a 15k. And that's it. Like, right? He's just a 15k for 1. Pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And then he becomes weaker later in the game. And then this Vegito counter card is the other part, right? Because this is the Mecha Boar, like the Meki, but now it's a counter play skill, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now you can do it in response to anything being summoned. Like it's really strong.
Yeah, the deck's really got pieces lining up where you can just slot in whatever cards for this archetype, and then your yellow good stuff, and then you got a deck that's going to be really annoying to face.
I'm curious. Do you think they'll finally hit Riposte as a result? Because like this deck with Riposte, I think is going to be. I don't think anyone's going to play anything else. Like I think it's going to be yellow into yellow into yellow.
Which we've seen before. We've seen that happen a lot. Yellow likes to. It's been a little quiet lately, but yellow always finds its way back to the top. And I think with this, they might do something about Riposte now that, well, it's been a while now since Vegeta has been limited just to the Vegito leader, and everyone's just like, okay, Riposte is pretty much coming down in the most part. I don't know. It definitely is a super strong card, especially if you're facing a deck that's got a lot of barrier stuff, which other yellow decks tend to have.
I would think they might hit Swift Retaliation Cooler.
Everyone's been waiting for that. Everyone's been waiting for that, and that's very true.
I mean, if you're thinking about like with the whole chain, if you're like swing leader, negate, I'm gonna tap 3 and then go and then do all the nasty stuff.
It's true.
That's bananas. Either they gotta hit it or they gotta give us something in every color.
Mm-hmm.
So that we can have our own counters.
That isn't
or a new format. Like we're getting close enough now where what is it? Zenkai is already a pretty big pool, you know? Like the fact that they had something called Zenkai Cups and stuff, maybe we just get rid of all this old crap.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
like
sound very that doesn't sound very Bandai.
yeah, that's true. That is very true. Yeah, I would like to see cooler hit, cooler counter hit, but I feel like if you do that, man, I feel like we're already in such a unless there's something else coming out that can like a toned down version of it. Like I feel like it's necessary for the format because
It's
like
I think it's what it lets yellow stay in games now, but when you talk about getting to a meta where yellow is oppressive, I think it becomes something that you've got to give people a chance to stay in a game.
yeah,
I see what
I
you mean.
mean it's definitely going to be weird too because you um in the mirrors it's so much based on who goes first, like blue versus blue, like when you go first into another blue deck you're just like this is free, like if you unless you start like drawing dead. And I feel like that's with yellow too because like you keep one open for your mechie first swing cooler it, and then you draw your two and then you're just off to the races, right? Like there's pretty much no chance. But yeah, like this is going to be a weird format, and especially the fact we didn't talk about it but we should have. Like the part for me is I'm actually more excited to see what they do with worlds, obviously, but SS Vegito with a world stamp because that's what they did last time, right? Like they took the newest set and they stamped it up. This card is gorgeous. Like I already want 3-4 copies of it.
Oh, yeah.
It's got the whole like space feel. It's just badass looking. The part that sucks about it is the Vegito is the unawakened side. So that means it'd be the Son Goku path to victory with the earrings, and it's like not as cool. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. They could bling that out and make it look pretty good still.
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, you can add like you can make it look better. It's just, I don't know, man. This is just this whole like, I'm a red player. I love red, but this looks more fun. And then the fact that the Spirit Bomb for the most part isn't that easy to get rid of, right? There's only like 5 effects that can do it.
I was gonna say, what's the energy cost of it? And it's what, barrier field, right?
7.
So, 7.
It's
Yeah.
No, they didn't give
it's
it
not
barrier.
barrier.
No,
It's
it
not
doesn't have
barrier.
barrier. Okay, it
You
doesn't
mean
have barrier.
that green Vegeta card, the
Green
one that
Vegeta,
destroys fields.
the Piccolo.
Yeah,
The Piccolo, I looked it up. The Piccolo only hits fields
2?
with an energy cost of 1.
Oh, 1.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
so Piccolo does.
and then
use the
Brawly. Brawly's the other one.
And
Zeno Unison.
Xeno Unison, the Ape from ApeQ, the Champ Pack one. If it's for some reason in rest mode, it can also get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Does it go
I
into
think.
rest though? Obviously, if you get Mecha Frieza, you can put it into rest mode. But does it go into rest mode by itself?
Yeah, it does. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to switch the card to
You
rest
switch
mode
it to
anyway.
rest mode. So that's another option too. Okay, so there's.
It's
some
also
stuff that makes
interesting
sense.
that they made it like because they like thematically it works, and I'm not mad at them, but I kind of wish they would have added like one more line, which would have been a lot. It's already a lot of text on this card, but I would have liked maybe add it to like the Vegito because I don't like the fact you're gonna have to run at least 2 copies of this card. Because it's gonna suck if you
Have it in
if
your
you
life.
awaken and Spirit Bombs in your life.
So actually, Chris Spencer, he made a video for the deck on his channel, right? And he did like a test game, and this was the craziest shit. He ran 3 copies. One was in his opening hand, so we couldn't play it out for free, and the other 2 were in his life, so we couldn't
Yeah.
get any.
I mean, this is the cell issue, right? Like back in the day, we didn't know you couldn't look through your deck at all, so you'd play cell. And back then, we were running like 3 perfect cells, and you'd be at 4 life, and you're like, "All right, let's go grab one," and you're like, and you'd already have committed, like like luckily here it's turn 2. It won't be as dire, but yeah, like it's it's an extra card, so I guess it turns on Mechie. Like you can charge it. It has utility. It's not a completely dead card, but yeah, that'll suck if you have to run 4. and you're just sitting there like you're opening hands like 3 copies of this, and you're like after you mulligan, you're like this sucks.
No, that's you got the Krillin super combo. You got to super combo it back into your deck.
Yeah, and you can't control when you awaken either. So like, but you do get to choose when you summon it, right? So I guess that's a plus. You can wait till you're at 4 life, and then finally start putting some cards underneath. And it looks like it goes pretty fast. Like that is the cool part about this is like with all these cards together, I think it's going to be very, very actually doable. Like, what is it? The Hercule that does it?
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about for the my favorite art being that Hercule the Z battle card, the Rallying for Hope, where it's just barrier,
Yeah,
switch him to rest mode with his activate main, and then I can choose any number of battle cards, switch them to rest mode, and for each battle card switch to rest mode by this skill other than this card, I can place the top card of my deck under I Spirit Bomb in my battle area. So if you got a big board of little pissers and you just rest 2 or 3 of them, you're just starting that whole kill turn just that much quicker.
no, it makes sense.
And of
I like
course
it a lot.
they got the champ for that too, the guy who saved the universe with the Spirit Bomb. So I'm happy about that.
It's cool, dude. Like it's thematically what we needed, kind of like some of the other decks just suck. Like Turtle School, like a lot of people wanted to play that deck, and then it's bad.
Hurting my soul. I played that today.
It's
Well,
green. It's
I
green.
know.
It's fun.
It's fun.
It's thematic.
Yeah.
Bandai's theme is green is bad.
Hey.
They stay true to their theme.
I was gonna say I got rocked by Cooler, and I think that's the only good green deck right now, and probably the only good green deck for a while.
But
I was excited when my opponent said he was playing Cooler, and I was like, awesome. And then it wasn't Cooler.
No.
It was the other version of Cooler. And I was, what? Yeah, it was Metacooler. I was like,
Okay, yeah, good luck.
He's a new guy.
yeah. He was a great guy. He was very nice, but I was really excited. I was like, everyone's been bitching about this deck. I want to see, is it that fast? Like,
It's
makes
quick.
It can be. It can be.
Fast.
But that's the only way green's ever been good. And then it's fast, and then they're like, you know what? Green's too fast. Let's destroy the whole deck.
Well, it's either that, it's either too fast, or oh my god, it got me down to 0 cards in hand turn 2 with Cell Search. Like that those are the only 2 options, and one got hit, so waiting on when Cooler they'll do something about that. It's just the funny thing with those fast green decks, especially Cooler, the kryptonite for those decks is usually like a mirror match or green, where it's just Dorm Potential completely shuts those decks off, where you're just like, oh
Yeah.
well, I can't do shit. I like every other color Floodgate, like Mecha doesn't touch Unisons. All the other like battle card Floodgates don't touch it, and even like I'm trying to think, like even Gamma with its Floodgate, it still can be Dodoriad, like, or Topo can be hit by Dodoriad as well too.
Yep.
So it's just like all those battle card Floodgates don't really matter if they have the right hand.
Yeah, it's weird. I'm excited. Like even looking at some of the other cards, like this Goku Universe at Stake, you get to kill something, you play it, and if you have the extra card in play, you get to draw a card. So it's just a 2 energy 8-drop who kills something, and then he has dual attack basically.
He kills
But he
2
has
things. It's not once per
What?
turn.
Wait, what?
The on-attack auto is not once per turn, so you kill 2 things.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, yeah. So he's 2 kills. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. And there's no
you draw?
restriction on it's not once per turn to play it.
Yep.
No, I think he's super good.
The restand is a once per turn. So if you play multiple of them, you can only get the pseudo dual attack once.
But you can, having a 30K who's a 5, like that's the part. I think I talked about this literally our exact last team talk. I think this is a little bit of a mistake that Bandai keeps making. If they want the game to be more balanced, this card can't be a 5K, and it is. So clearly they don't get it. But like this card, unless I'm wrong, this looks to me like a straight 3 over a 4 of. Like there's no negative to having it, right?
Wait, the first auto, it says choose one of your opponent's cards, ignoring bears. You can choose energy. You can just rest energy. I'm resting 2 energy with this.
Choose up to one
Holy
of your cards and ignoring
Yeah.
charity.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't realize
that's
that.
my
yeah.
God.
So another point on why there should be a 110K. Like there should be a
Yeah,
drawback
fine.
to drawing this card when you're on the back foot, where it's just like, God damn it, I have no energy up, and I just used my super combo and I drew this, and there's a dead card in my hand. There should be some drawback to this card, and there's
Sorry.
not.
The fact that it's basically this card's effect, like really,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't.
but like a bit worse.
What sucks about this is I already thought this deck was like tier 1, and then it just got upgraded so fast. So like it's so dumb because so now you're telling me for 2 energy you get to draw a card, replace it, and then just tap your opponent out. Like, and so they don't, they don't have a way of negating it. Even if they demagic, you can still tap one of the 2 energy, and then
Do it
he
again.
restands himself and do it again. Like, oh my god, this is so. Oh,
Sorry, this can be used in any yellow deck.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Right.
that's what I'm saying. This is just the new Turles. This is just your 2. You tap
Great.
2, and you got this, right? This is just a better version.
So
Right.
you have to have a yellow Z battle card in play, or you have to be a yellow Z leader.
Which
So
this
that is
one-
the only benefit.
It gets pretty quick into that Z leader.
And
Well,
you know,
and
we're
counts.
gonna get an SPR of that card.
Oh, I
Yeah.
hope that'll look. There's not a lot of good looking SS3 cards. I hope this one looks amazing.
But think about the aggression there of like Oolong's already very good, and Oolong's not an auto when he comes into play, right? He's activate main.
Activate
Mhm.
main.
Yeah, so you Oolong, pay 2 energy,
Mm-hmm.
attack with Son Goku, tap their last energy, make Oolong a 30k, get to swing, and then you have to be like, let's just do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And this doesn't like that's a lot to do for 3
And-
energy.
You're not even, and assuming we don't get a on theme one, you're forgetting like you don't even have to do that. It's also, I'm gonna super combo the Gohan Piccolo with this.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it into play, draw another, and then make Oolong the 40k instead.
Oh yeah.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, there's a
Same
lot of-
thing. 1 energy. Mira's still on the table too. And this, we also got to put in the fact that we still haven't swung with the leader. And what if we got the 7? Like we just go nuts. Like there's a lot of stuff that can go off in this deck.
For me, I'm just looking at the aggro element because, like, I wonder if you just kind of don't bother with a lot of the theme, like, because I like thematic stuff for fun, but like when it comes down to it, I'm just trying to win as quick as I can. Like if you saw my Zenkai list, I'm not running half the tech cards for what I ran for the Zenkai Cup. I cut all the fat. I was like, this is best of 1. If you've got the answer, hey buddy, you get the answer. Like I don't care. Like let's just go for it. And people were like, well, how do you get through floodgates? I was like, you just discard cards. Like like you pay the tax. Like it's not that bad. And this looks like a deck where you could be playing a lot of like 1 cost that whatever yellow has, like critical double strike,
The
And
deck
then
already has one. The double strike Goku Vegeta, 1 mana double striker, KO something in rest mode, but negate the card skill first, then KO it. And
Yeah.
it's a 1 mana 20k double striker. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it has utility cards that are on theme, and it has and it also has that Vegeta. We already talked about it. Permanent 15k draws a card. Like it's unique, so that's good, but you're not going to be able to swing back into this leader. Like if you go first, it's a 20k. Like what are you going to do? Start comboing turn 1?
And then also like the auto on the base leader on the awakened side is good too. Oh, I use the spirit bomb thing and I get to rest something on their board. Oh, you token negate? Let me rest your token negate. Like,
That
that's
what
nice.
it does? Let me read it. When a card is placed under your spirit bombs, choose 1. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, this deck is going. Wow. That's what we do. Don't even name this Team Talk 14. Just Team Talk Tier 0. Don't bother buying any other color next set.
It's shaping up to be horrifying. Which it's
Strike
yellow.
skills, by the way.
What?
The immunity to strike skills too, man. with the Vegito.
Oh yeah. And
Yep.
if your opponent were to play like, does that work on Victory Strike?
It's a strike skill, I
Yep.
think, right?
I assume so.
I'm pretty sure it doesn't. When they say which skill are we looking at?
Yeah, no, it's a strike skill. You're right. It's the same.
Get all your
it's the
opponent's
same
strike
word.
skills for the turn.
But
The
So
Vegito.
you have to-
with Victory Strike, the original Victory Strike says its skills can't be negated on that one.
Yeah,
and then
I'm talking about the
yeah.
one that you still play, which is Apex.
Apex.
So you could, if your opponent does in fact go for the Apex, you can counterplay, summon this. Your leader will have the negate
Oh,
all your skills.
I'm pretty. Which card are we reading here?
The Vegito.
Sorry.
Vegito.
The 8-drop.
Yeah.
The permanent.
All right, negate all of your opponent's strike skills. So it does not include Victory Strike because in the rule book 20-7 defines strike as a permanent keyword relates to damage. Strike is described as when this card inflicts damage to your opponent's life by attacking. It deals X minus 1 damage or less.
You're right.
So it does not include Victory Strike.
Okay, because I was gonna say Victory Strike's worded different.
Strike?
It's
No,
worded
Victory
as
Strike is not a strike skill. It is the Victory Strike skill. It's a dual word.
It's just its own name.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, because it's stated that if you deal a damage with this card, you win the game. Is the Victory Strike? It's a
Okay, so we
different
can't
thing.
stop Victory Strike. All it can do is take your quad strike down to 1. That's it.
But then again, if you're playing Victory Strike, you're not making it to that turn against this deck. We've already went through how aggressive this deck can be.
But I mean, a good counter for a deck like this would have been like green. Green would have had. Is critical a strike skill? No, it's not, right?
No.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's just you can't be chomping. That's basically it, right?
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about any champas, no double strike.
The Sin engine, there's a lot of doubles and triples and blah blah.
Oh
blah.
yeah. Sin would be a great example, yeah, because this is just.
Can't Sin can use this, no?
I'm talking about Red Sin, but Yellow Sin might be able to.
Yeah, but yeah, you can.
Oh my god, Yellow.
You just have to have 2. Yeah, I mean, all yellow decks. You know what deck I want to play with all this crap? I might just play Meki, the original. That's like that got remade and then errated again.
I was gonna say both are banned, aren't they?
Fox 3? No, the original one is not banned. It's errated.
It's errated. Oh, sorry, it's errated.
I
Okay.
considered it for Worlds. We worked on a list, but it's missing something. I think we got it. Like what it's missing, because you don't care about your life at all. You just want to be able to do stuff for free. And then, man, this is strong. Like 1 energy, anything they play, you get a free block and you get to protect your life. It's like a Jaren on like steroids.
Everybody needs to basically be running mainboarding counterplays at this point that can hit it.
So it's additionally, if your leader is a Z leader or a yellow Z battle card. So you can't. It's it's not that hard to have either of those things.
Hercule's a 1-cost barrier Z card.
Yep.
Yeah, like every single deck can just do this.
That was Oolong, right?
Oolong's not barrier though.
Oolong's not barrier.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know about the Hercule. Is the Hercule 1 Z energy or 2? Because Oolong's 2.
I'm pretty sure Hercule's 1.
Hercule's 1. I just checked. Yeah.
Hercule's 1.
So
that's pretty fun.
That's a really even in if you want to do this in another situation where you want to guarantee have that card down, you literally can just run Hercule if you really wanted a barrier card, because 1/1 is not a lot at all.
I am so genuinely sad now that Worlds is not going to involve this set, because this would have been a blast. Just to be like walking in there with this deck and just making like no Spirit Bomb pieces, just like all these 1-drop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's for that other SR alone. But yeah, Beer, what's your picks? I know we went on a tangent there, but
so like I sat down earlier this morning too, and I looked at like the Boo archetype, right? And I was just trying to say, like, what did I like the most there? I would say honestly, like the Z leader looks like the most appealing thing there. But like the engine isn't terrible, but it's like it's a go tall engine where it's like if your opponent does even like 1 piece of removal to get rid of it, you're screwed. But like the Z cards themselves have abilities that give the cards on top of them barrier and ability to not be KO'd when they're in rest mode and all this other crazy stuff. So
Which
like,
is cool.
yeah,
I'm glad that we get
yeah,
like underneath interaction with skills
yeah.
other than just power. So that's cool that they're doing that. But
Yeah, so like the archetype doesn't seem because like if they didn't have these Z cards to give them barrier and the ability to not be KO'd and all that stuff, this archetype's just dead. But like it's not dead because you can do this. It's a lot harder to remove, but you still run into this similar issue where it's like you're going tall, but all it takes, for example, you face blue, they pay 2, play Gohan SCR, that's it, your dude's gone. They play Beerus, pay 2, your dude's gone. Even if you give it barrier, now you have no boss monster, and
Fated
you've lost your
Rival.
chain.
Same thing with
Fated
green.
Rival, right?
Pay 2.
Red, everybody's got something, right? So that's the only issue. But it can put out a lot of damage. Like I'm looking at this chain and how it works. This reminds me of Black Boot. Like this has a lot of gas. This is a hard aggro yellow deck, but it really does. It's super reliant on your opponent not having something to prevent them from spawning, basically, or like to counterplay them and stuff. That's the only issue with it.
No, yeah, I think it just feels like the yellow version of the Black Boo deck to me.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of just going, you swing with one, go into the next one, swing with one, go into the next one.
Yeah, this leader is broken though. Having built-in ignoring barrier removal on your leader is really, really strong. That's just there's no denying that. Like barrier removal built into your leader is very, very powerful. It does good things. Like that's the hard fact. It does do good things, but it's just
Stacked
I
up
don't know,
against this other yellow deck is the problem.
I mean, I'll sit down and figure something out for it. But like, yeah, like this other one, it's like it's not archetype reliant, right? You don't need to do anything special. But even the in archetype stuff is so like value, it doesn't matter. Where the other one is like you need your certain combo chain pieces and whatever. And it's like, yeah, if you high roll on this boo deck, like you're gonna kill somebody really fast. But if you low roll, you're doing nothing. You're just chilling. Whereas like when you play the new yellow one, the Vegito, it's like, oh man, everything I do is just value. You can't respond to me. I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Like what?
Mm-hmm.
Insane power curve. And then also, by the way, that Goku Vegeta rare I was talking about, it isn't just locked to this archetype. It says if your leader is a Son Goku or Vegeta, both yellow, and your opponent has 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand. So you could play this in Trunks Vegeta. You can play this in Dripku if you want. You can play this in like older yellow Goku decks even. Like I'm not saying like, you know, obviously like Goku's lineage isn't the greatest thing in the universe, but you can play it in yellow Goku's lineage for the old school players, you know.
It's true because it's not stipulating that both have to be on the card, just or, which is
Yeah.
maybe whatever this starter deck, everyone thinking it's Majin Vegeta. If it's actually just a Vegeta card, then you can slot it in there too. Which, if we're actually getting 4 yellow decks, that's ridiculous. But they're spread amongst them. Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, we're definitely not due for a good red deck. I'm not having my hopes up for that one. Like I feel like after we had GT and Shenron, like I feel like the other colors, like like I imagine whoever was in charge of R&D is just probably like slept on the entire red set. So, like when we see it, it'll probably be like Earthlings.
Android 21. That I already got that theory in my chat, so that'll be hilarious.
Oh.
Switching
blue?
colors up. No, for red.
Yeah.
Just like completely
Oh.
switching colors on it. Because I think blue, probably. Are we getting a second Krillin leader finally? That's not with the gang.
I love Stormfist Krillin.
Stormfist Krillin, because it's all it's saying like Android 18 or Krillin leader. So maybe it's another Krillin leader, or they're just Stormfist draw to a turn. I don't know.
Well, see what they typically do is within a color they stick to an era.
Yeah.
So like we had the evil, you know what I'm saying? They stick to that. So but they went with special era because it doesn't make sense how they're doing it. Like the androids they're giving us are back from the Cell Saga, but they're calling it special era.
It's because on the front side you see her like as like in the Boost Saga, like in Super in that outfit, and on the back it's back to either Future 18 or like the Cell Saga.
Cell Saga. Yeah.
So it's just like I don't know.
So it's definitely the fact that they calling it the special era. That would make me say that's Android 21. That's Android 21 era.
which
territory.
which is basically a rerun of set 8, because set 8 it
Yep.
was those two for blue.
Yeah.
So
Set
Okay.
8 in Battle Evo, right?
no, set 8, machine mech something.
Machine
Yeah.
machinations.
That it was the revive set. That's what I loved revive from
Yeah.
that set. That's you run Gogeta 7 in revive, and oh, what a great time, because
Oh
you
god.
play that down.
Maybe they give us a reprint, an updated reprint of Violent Predator.
Oh god.
By the way, did you guys notice the Majin Buu counterplay that they made for this Vegito deck?
No.
Let's hear it.
This is broken. Majin Buu Desperate Defiance. Counterplay, limit 1, play this card. If you have Yellow Hercule in play, activate this card's counter sword from hand without paying its energy cost. So you have the Barrier Hercule out already.
Mhm.
And then auto, if your leader's Yellow Sun Goku, when this is played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards 4 or less and just rest it. You're telling me now you have a free counterplay 10k that just rests a 4 or less in this deck. Like
Which deck is that for? That's
the
for.
Vegito deck.
Vegeta.
Yeah.
Spirit
Oh,
Blade.
Like legitimately, you get the Z you get the Z battle Hercule out, and both of these counterplays are live.
that's so silly. Wow. Yeah.
And one's
Just-
completely free. Like,
And is it uncommon? No, it's a common, so we won't get a stamp of it.
And
That's
that's 4 or
weird.
less though. Like that's crazy. Like your opponent's like, oh, I'm gonna Goku Black. You're like, cute. Bottom deck that.
is it bottom deck or rest?
Sorry, rest it.
Rest it.
I'm curious about the Kabito Kai. That's something we didn't talk about. I wonder if there's anything broken with that. Like, you get to play a yellow battle card with the cost of 1 from your deck with its skills negated.
Oh, you
And
play
then,
Hercule.
well, it's from your deck, not your.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Oh,
a one drop Hercule. There's a one drop
There's a
Hercule.
Hercule 1-drop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the
is that
battle
what
card
it's
one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So hold on. What I would think you is do you go Kabito into the 2-drop Vegito that then lets you play the 4-drop
be
with its double strike
It has to be a 1
negated.
cost.
I thought I said a 2-cost card.
No, it's 1 cost. Oh, I see it here. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I would just play the Hercule with that because the Hercule in the main set itself, it has a perma where it's in rest mode. It can't be KO'd.
Yeah, and then this is the other thing. So this works with the card we talked about, and then Dende makes it free. Wow.
It has so many cards to cover its ass.
Oh, I bet you it's for this. No, I bet you it's for Dende. If your leader's a yellow, it has to be a Z leader though. Yeah, they really are pushing. They're really pushing it. How quickly do you think you could become a Z leader? What's the requirement? You have to have 7 cards underneath.
No,
And
that's
you've got
that's
the
for
other
the
one.
big Z. Yeah, that's for the big Z.
Yeah,
leader.
you have
There's
the little
small
one.
The small
Your
one.
life is 4 or less.
Mhm, that's all.
Yeah, you just need to have
it's
4 or
just
less.
But you got to pay 1. Okay.
But still, that's the same thing where it's just saying Z leader, right? It's being generic with that, where if it's just a Z leader, what other yellow deck that people still like playing got a Z leader? Trunks Vegeta.
Yeah.
Ape's got a Z
The deck's
leader.
not very good. I'll be honest. I'm less worried about that in comparison
Well,
to
for
this.
this is the big daddy coming out.
Because Trunks Cheetah, if you go second, I think Trunks Cheetah might be the worst deck in the format. Because your turn 2, you have to tap out, or your turn 1, you're tapping out. So whatever your opponent wants to do on their turn 2, you're taking it. And then best case scenario on your turn 2, you're becoming a Trunks, and then you're, evolving it and keeping 1 up for the mechie. Like, you just don't have the utility that you need to, like, do what, like, you're going to die on 3. Like, whereas this deck looks great.
Just to double check, you can only use Z Awaken once per turn, right?
Yeah.
So,
No, there's no requirement for Z Awaken.
No, you can do it once per turn. I'll confession. That was a question I got wrong on in my own
Really?
Same.
Yeah, I got that question wrong when it was asked to me before, and I was like, oh, did not know that.
No,
Okay.
I didn't know that either. Okay.
Yeah, it's in the rulebook.
Yeah, because I was gonna say the other one, is it even Z Awakening? Because it's like you place the card from underneath this card on top. It's with this new Z stack thing that we saw with
different.
Cumber cards. So I think it's a completely different way that it's going into that second Z leader.
So wait, which one's triggering
yeah,
it?
you're
Which
right.
deck is Zeo
The,
Leader?
Oh,
The
the
base
second
form
activate
Goku.
being.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Base
That's
form
fine.
Goku goes into Super Saiyan as your kill.
all right, guys.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
11:30. Apologies. That is my expiration date for work. Night, guys.
See you
Have
later.
a good one.
But yeah. No, you're right. So like you can't Z awaken then go into the other one, but you can do the activate main.
Yep,
Mhm.
because you're not Z awakening it. Yeah.
But wait, this is actually insane. Like I'm looking at this stuff now, right? Because like you mentioned the Kibito, right? So like you do the Kibito, and then use the Kibito to play the Dende, and then because you have the Dende, you free play the one cost Hercule. Okay.
Wait, how are
Sure.
you? How are you free playing the one class Hercule?
The Hercule is if your leader is yellow and has both Son Goku and Vegeta, and you have a yellow Dende card and play, reduce the cost of this in your hand by 1 yellow, and it's a 1 cost yellow.
Yeah.
So this
Wow.
Mhm.
wow.
So yeah, for 1 energy, you're gonna fill your board with. You're
Multiple.
gonna get Kibito, Dende, and Hercule all out.
And then you have your Z battle card, and there's 3 cards going under your spirit bomb. Like,
Yeah, this is wild. Okay.
Yeah, so you do. Yeah, look at it because that's what it is. You actually tap it. That's exactly how you do. Like your minimum of 2 just off of 1 energy, you can minimum tuck 2 under your spirit bomb.
Top 5 search, and you're thinning your deck. This is ridiculous.
oh, this deck. The more you look at it, the more you're like, oh my god. Oh,
Like
this
at
is gonna
first I'm
be
like,
everywhere.
it's whatever. But no, this is dumb. This is really dumb. Yeah, this deck is gonna be a problem. I still do stand like I think the Boo deck is not bad. You just have to be careful. That's all.
I
It
think
has
that
more
I
room
think
for
that
error.
yeah, I think the boo is gonna be one where you got to figure out that line of sequencing,
Mhm.
and I could see it appearing at at major events, but it won't stay near the top tables. Like it's too it's too brickable.
And yeah, it can brick really hard is the only issue. But it does like when it high rolls, this high rolls. Like this isn't like something to scoff at. You know what I mean? Like this is still a better archetype than a lot of stuff they put out in the years. You know what I mean? Like it's still better than a lot of things. But yes, this is
Which
there's a
honestly,
lot of risk.
which is good seeing from yellow, because yellow is notoriously known from being the most consistent color, and having a deck where it's actually a gamble if you're gonna either go completely nuts or get bricked and just have no chance. So it's nice to see that they brought that to yellow, like every other color seems to have. I guess
Yeah.
red they
I
got
need to like actually sit down on Untap and try to brew something with this, and I can get a better I can get you a better read on how good or bad I feel like this deck is going to be. But I feel like you can do some really crazy lines of play, but you need to get those plays right. That's all.
I think it's going to be a situation where it is very much like you said, like the black blue deck, but it's going to be in that. Like, yes, you could play every single one of the different boos, but I think we're going to learn that there's an optimal. Like, hey, you only want to
Yep.
go this boo to this boo to this boo, this boo, and that's all you want to play.
Yep. And then the other thing too, though, like one minor thing I did notice, though, was like you could still technically just play this as a yellow good card deck because the leaders, you swing, you discard a boo to draw 2, but then they already have the 1-draw boos built into the deck where if they're discarded, you basically get to play them from your drop area. So because you get to play them from your drop area, you're not actually even discarding a card. You're literally like play a card for free, draw 2 is what it does instead in reality.
no.
So like just those little itty bitty cards themselves add more to the consistency of the deck as long as you have those. But it's not hard because they're your 1-drops.
No, yeah, I think it's really cool that they are getting like a bone. It's like the better version of the Piccolo, the first Piccolo SH deck we got, where you were discarding to get effects, and then you were just going neg the whole time.
This is actually plussing.
Yeah, the actually plussing and getting effects, like it seems really good in a vacuum. It's just beside the first deck we were talking about, where it's just like.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where like these do not stand on the same footing, which most most decks are like that. I think SS4 and Sim were the only two that were kind of matched in how insane they were. Everything else, usually one of the decks in the color is Snap, the other one's very eh. And I think the
Yeah.
Boo at least went past the eh part, but it's still just
It's not
in
eh,
the
it's
it's that's what I'm saying. It's gone past that, but it's still in the shadow of the
yeah.
Spirit Bomb deck.
It's not as good as Spirit Bomb, but it is good. Like you can, if you like Boo, you're gonna love the deck. 100%. You're gonna have fun with it. I don't think there's any reason like to not play it. But like Brian, you said, you're probably not gonna see that at top tables unless it's like some one random guy. It's so hard though.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: is you can find someone. There may be somebody out there. I'll throw a name out there that some people know. Dylan Warren. This might be his deck, but there's going to be someone out there that pulls a Rohit like what he did with Android 21, or what Jared Lopez did forever with Android 16. There's someone that can pour the time into it and master it and hit something on it. But it's not going to be something the masses pick up and run with and
Yeah.
are seeing great results with.
Yeah, because I think that's another thing too. Like, isn't really talked about much is like the effort versus the actual reward. Not so much the risk versus reward, but the effort. Like playing a deck where you have to do like 5 million things to get like some good benefits, where like other decks are just like, oh, let me just do things and I get the same benefit or more without having to think about it.
Well, that's the thing too, right? That's where the whole masses thing, where most people are going to gravitate towards Spirit Bomb. But
Yeah,
say there's some intricate thing with Boo where if you play it a certain way and you got so many reps in that these play lines no matter what, which only a few players can get to that point where they're just like, oh, I could do this here because he did this. The benefit to that being like Rohit and all that, people are like, what the hell does this leader even do? I have no practice against this leader because everyone went to the other yellow deck, and then they have an advantage there. But another problem arises where you're saying that, where you have to do this, and this, so you can get this at the outcome. If you're going to Nats and you're running 9 rounds, that becomes so mentally exhausting. When another deck does this, and then this happens, you got to do 3 things before that happens. But in the end, it works a little bit better. Is still mentally taxing when you're going for 8-10 plus hours on end. So that's another thing to look at, why people just gravitate towards, oh, this one goes burr, smash his face, right?
Mm-hmm. One thing I will note though is with the Boo leader, like the auto on the Awaken side is very good too, just like the Vegito, where it's like if you play a yellow Boo on your opponent's turn, you can rest a battle card or Unison. You literally have Power by Super Saiyan's Rest built in on an auto just for playing a Boo.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Which then, if you, in the right scenario, like again, not knowing secrets, you can take that into a Bergamo off of 2,
Yep.
and then all of a
Just
sudden, well, you're getting into the realm where guess what? Celzino can be back into play for a disgusting early round pop or something,
Mm-hmm.
There's lines of play. It'll be interesting to see what secrets are, to see which ones they want to buff with that.
Yeah.
They like as we had a long time where blue didn't have blue was your secret or where's hatch or you didn't play blue.
Yeah.
That was it forever. And we've had 2 bonkers back to back blue secrets. But the question, green and greens, I would say some max was pretty good. So maybe it's time for yellow to get a bonkers one. The last good, like absolute, like yellow's last one, the Bardock was what, generic?
Bardock's generic. The counterplay one's not bad. The cold bloodlust one, that one's not bad.
That one I've been running. I've been running that a lot if I'm not running Celzino. But the problem with that is everything's in the counterplay text, right? So if you want to eat a card on the field that's really strong and it just has deflect, you're kind of screwed because it ignores barrier, but it's all in the counterplay text, so you're not able to eat it. But in its
one was okay too.
Yeah, because the go-to yellow that most people are going to right now is just the Piccolo Gohan. You're getting a draw. Yeah, you're getting a draw, and you can turn your little piss baby into, oh, I'm swinging 5K. Just kidding, it's 35K now. Like, it's just that, and I'm playing this, and I'm resting that, and I'm drawing.
Yeah.
Have fun. Here's Oolong. I'm going to add him to 40K as well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if before this set's over too, if they give us because last set 19, what legitimately came out of set 19? Go
I
on.
SGRs.
I was gonna say SGRs, the
No, I mean
secrets,
I'm talking about leaders. I'm talking about just
leaders.
leader.
Okay.
Yeah, like if you look at what their theme, because obviously since the beginning of Unison Warrior, they have done a very concerted effort to make everything very thematic. And we see that in what they've banned too. They've banned the more general a leader is, it's been getting hit. So, like looking at it, it's like this set 18. No, the first one is Zenkai. We got the two red decks. They came out and said this is our house. Let's
Hmm.
plant our flag. And then last set we got Gohan, and there was some people have tried to push the green decks up there, but we don't have anything. Like we're getting like one leader a set. And so far, how would you rate that, knowing that we're what, roughly halfway through leaders for this set? We've got yellow, we got black.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the blue ones we'll talk about next week, I think, right? But
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
and
one's
one
good.
blue. Yeah.
But
So like I like so far we've got a leader that's bananas.
Wade leader, that's bananas, and the other two, like the black leader and the other yellow leader, they're not bad. Like they're like you can actually play them. They're not like a complete swing and a miss. You know what I mean?
You're
Yeah.
forgetting about
Well,
the AOD. Come on. There's 3 yellow leaders.
yeah,
I
there
mean,
is.
I
But
don't want to take this on.
that one's a promo one, and so
Yeah.
I
I
think
think it
I don't know
comes
if
with
that's gonna
the Z battle
be
card
released
too, right?
or something. I don't know. Yeah.
I think it's like
So
magenta
so
how that worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the question, what really looks at it for me is like when I'm rating leaders, like yes, people are like, oh, this leader's good, this leader's bad, this leader can be good. It's like no, like those are such subjective labels to it. I think I try to stick with, is this going to be meta relevant, competitive, or is it not? And I think those are two, like we don't need to rank them S, A, B, C, D. That's a delineation, and I don't see as a wide range of anything, of many of them. So far, I see yellow being meta relevant, competitive, the Vegito, and being impactful. And then the other ones, maybe they're there, but I don't think they'll be widely meta relevant.
I was gonna say, with at least Wiley, I don't know how good the deck's gonna be, but there is gonna be so many people flocking to that Cumber just because another
Yeah.
black deck was released. So you're gonna see a lot of that, and maybe from all that playing around, maybe something snapped will come out of it. Especially there is a way to set up basically a win with that, with the SCR that we got in the last set. Beer, go on with that, because I know there's a lot of stuff that can go on,
Well,
and I know a
no.
lot of people will be testing that out.
So the Cumber, I'm like this week I'm focused on the One Piece and the thing, so I'm not doing anything till next week. But next week onwards, I'm going to be sitting down and properly testing every archetype and thinking of 5 to 6 different builds for everything. So I'll try to figure out whether it's even competitively viable or not. But like with Cumber, I figured out a few like builds and lines of play you can do, and I talked about it last week, but you can draw like 4 to 5 cards a turn on your turn, and you have a way to take someone from 4 to 0 pretty consistently, in all honesty. So it has the potential, but that deck specifically, its biggest issue is you don't burst. You're playing a black deck that doesn't burst, and that is very weird for black because black is balanced around being able to consistently overwhelm every turn, and it doesn't do that. That is the only issue with that. That is, if it's not
Well,
good, it's because of that.
well, I mean, honestly, if again, not looking at it too deeply, that sounds like balance to me. If
Yeah.
you're adding 4 to 5 cards every turn, then the goal should be to combo those cards to fuel your overwhelm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And or to fuel your Z deck. So
Yeah.
and then you Z
Z
play a
then
card
overwhelm, yeah.
to overwhelm like that. Like that's balance. Because if it was bursting
Yeah.
and giving you that many cards in hand, that could be
So mind you, the
impressive.
way you have to do it actually does rely on being able to do it one dark overwhelm, because the idea is you play the 1-drop Mechikabura from the Toa token deck. It draws you one, and when you activate its servant, it gets you a ghost token, and you draw one, of course. And then you do the dark overwhelm Poutine. And the Poutine, its activate battle draws you one when you pop one of those tokens. It already gets one, and then your Mechikabura always builds one every turn with the servant ability, because you're going to have your own servants and you're going to have your opponents. Obviously, you can't choose your opponents with him, but you can choose your own. So with that, you actually have an engine where you're drawing like 4 to 5 a turn, but this requires you to have the Mecha Aura and the Poutine, and that's the only issue too. Is this consistent enough?
Caused a lot
Right.
of setup to do that, but once you have
You
the
get the
setup, your
setup, but if you get
consistency
the setup,
comes.
you're drawing a book.
Yeah, that's where we're going off of balance because
Yeah.
it doesn't seem. It seems like Bandai, at least with Black, they realized the unison block that Black ruled a lot of it, and it was one deck here gets errata, one deck here like comes in its place, and then that one gets errata, and then another deck comes in its place, and that like just because of how generically good all those cards were and they just fit back and forth, and it seems like they were scared to go that again, and that's probably where this balancing is coming from. We're like, you know what, let's try a different route with Black and see where it goes.
By the way, do not be surprised if you see me playing Gogeta Xeno next set.
Oh really?
I figured out some stuff.
I'll tell you what's been crazy at my locals. I got a local player who the SS4 Xeno, Goku Xeno.
Yeah.
That thing can
Yep.
apply insane amount of
Mhm.
pressure and just deal with your board at the same time. It's like you
Mhm.
put some stuff out, get it in your warp, and it's just everything's back and forth, and it has the ability to keep fueling itself and going and fueling itself and
Double
going.
strike base leader.
Yeah,
Double strike.
20k, 25k. Like what?
Yep. And then that new Z battle card too has been putting a lot of work in the deck.
Yeah, like it slaps out so many
Mhm.
critical strikes
Mhm.
too. And
Yeah.
it's like it's just it's bonkers.
No, I think it's a super underrated deck because of that whole fact where it's the leaders being generic double strike is so strong, and a lot of people sleep on that. Where no matter what happens, I don't need my shop. I don't need to pay that extra energy. If we both have 0 cards in hand and you have 2 life left, I win the game. Like it's it's just from that one, from just the leader swing. But having even that new the TP, that overrun 15k, where you can, even if you need to sit back a little bit and they're floodgating you out, you can build that SR for what I think it's 3 energy, and then
SR
it
is
becomes
broke, by the way.
which that's where I originally made the deck around that SR, but it's just so slow without that TP, and then it kills, warps something, ignoring barriers, and then it also becomes a negate every turn as well too if you want. Like they have to get rid of that thing, and
30k
it's
triple strike dual attack.
Yep.
Ignoring barrier removes something, and it's a built-in negate attack.
yeah. I think it's super good, and I'm glad that now it's at least playable. But it's obviously restricted that deck, which is nice. That's when you get stuff that's snapped like that, you want it to just be for that one deck and not be, oh, let me just fit this into this better Black deck.
But that's the thing, though. Like, I've been looking at Gogeta Xeno again. There's some like really, really, really stupid stuff you can do, because thanks to the recent dash pack support, Black has too many removal cards now. Like half the deck now in the list that I have planned for Gogeta Xeno already remove stuff. Like the biggest thing that's like scary to me is the fact that the Boo Z card, Activate Main, doesn't even need to steal something, goes to being a 25k, and then the Activate Main on the Gogeta Xeno leader, you take a life, you can just give it another 10k. So if you get like one Boo and like let's say you got the Pan out, because the Pan's a 15k base already, you choose the Pan and you choose the Boo, that's a 35k and a 25k swing with no effort.
Screw it, throw Pycon on there too.
And they're removing cards too. One's warping cards, the other one's absorbing cards as well. And that's disgusting when you think about it. And then now you can actually make the argument to even consider the Pycon units, where I normally would never consider it, but now it's like you could actually do some stuff here. And now that Boo is swinging for 45k, and that Pan is swinging for 35k, and that's scary. Like that is a problem.
That's what, two energy and 2 Z energy between the both of them, right? Like they're both 1 and 1. Yeah.
And then the Boo's Activate Main needs 1 Z energy, so like 4 Z energy total. But like, yeah, that's a problem. And then another thing too that was nice that I noticed was you can use the Mirror Unison +1 to put that Shroom and Salsa SR right into your warp from your hand, so you can always have it ready when you need it.
Guys, I gotta take off. I'm an old man who needs his
That's
bedtime.
good. That seems like a good place to end anyway. But yeah, if have yourself a good night.
All right, yep. Catch y'all later.
Have a good one. I think we pretty much covered everything that we needed to.
Other than the Vegeta Z card being broken, the dual attack one, that card's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's it's what, 3 energy. 3 energy, and then in that deck that it comes out with, it can come out for 2, which is
Yep.
even more ridiculous.
So 3 energy, ignoring barrier, KO something, then get crit, dual attack 20. Sure, why
Ye-
not?
No, 100%. But I guess that's the end of the talk. Here,
Yeah.
if you want to lead us out here.
Thank you all for watching. Always appreciated. Please be sure to check out our sponsor, Game 3. Check out TCG Metals because they make some fire metal cards for DBS, for One Piece, some other stuff. Right. Make sure to check out the legendary Kaioken cards, of course. Always making good content. I think he's got something special coming up soon too. I don't want to spoil it for. But
Oh, they already
that's
saw the
his wheelhouse.
spoiler. They saw the
Oh,
Fight
okay.
Night 13 poster.
Okay.
I gotta wait for that. We'll
Okay, so
find out
Fight Night's
official
coming.
dates when that happens.
Also, make sure to check out Ginger Fusion, Robert Rizzi. Check out his stream as well. And he has a YouTube channel as well. He makes good content as well. I guess check out mine. You don't
There
have
you
to,
go.
but you can just check mine. But yeah, I mean, thank you all for watching. I don't know, have a good time.
Bada bing.